time starting now?
It starts as soon as you start speaking.
I have a question.
All right, I have an answer.
This is the one you want me to give to him right after the speech?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my topic that I chose was on NFL officiating and ruling. My major claim was that the NFL's rules are being poorly interpreted by official referees. The rules themselves are fine, but I think that the judging on the rules are they're a bit inadequate. So let me go into that. My secondary claims, my first one was the interpretation of a legal catch can determine a team's win or loss. So I have some examples, some specific ones. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and I really like the Lions, so this means a lot to me. Calvin Johnson's catch week 1 against the Bears this year was ruled not a touchdown. Anyone familiar with it? Right. Well, he actually had both feet in, both hands on the ball, and after he was going down, he had one ball in the air, signifying that he has complete control of the ball throughout the process. The rule book says that he must have firm grip and control the ball inbounds with any part of the body that is not the hands can count as a touchdown. So the referee that was closest to him on the sideline called it a touchdown, but the ruling on the field was overturned and said it's not, because they claimed that he did not have complete control of the ball. So there was a lot of a debate about this, and even, I can't remember his name, there was an NFL analyst who agreed that it was a catch. Yeah. My second example for the first secondary claim was that Santonio Holmes' catch against the Ravens was counted as a touchdown, but it should not be, because a legal touchdown consists of a player breaking the touchdown plane, the end zone plane, with the ball, even though he might not be in there. So the situation was that the player was outside the end zone, but he was in the end zone, but the ball had not crossed the plane. But the ruling was that it was a touchdown, which was not complying with the rule book, so it should not be a touchdown. Third one was Sidney Rice's catch against the Eagles was counted as a touchdown, but it should not be because he bobbled the ball, which he did not have he didn't complete the process of the catch. My second secondary claim was the interpretation of a legal tackle is difficult to judge. So a couple examples were a player named Ndamukong Suh on the Lions legally tackled another player by the hair, and the rule book was changed so that any excessive hair that goes beyond the helmet it can be used to tackle another player. So if, let's say, a player has long hair, you can use that to grab someone, pull him down, according to the rule book. So after that, Sue was fined. He was penalized for a legal tackle. And another instance was when he tackled another player, a running quarterback, after the line of scrimmage. They said he hit him in the back of the head, which was, if you can see the video, it actually doesn't. He doesn't hit him in the back of the head. It was kind of a shove. And also, there are a lot of dirty hit calls that are also false because they're by the rule book clean. So the referees, I believe, are judging the rules poorly. Their last claim was that a legal block is being called poorly because there are a lot of face mask calls, chop blocks that are legal and illegal, and blocking while holding in between the jerseys is also acceptable. But there have been a lot of penalties for wrong face mask calls and appropriate and inappropriate chop blocks and holding jerseys. Running out of time. So My conclusion is that the rule book is not being properly enforced by NFL officiating group.
All right, the claim's clearly stated. I didn't think that your preview was as strong as it could be, although internally you did do some signposting. The second point I thought got a little buried in all the examples you had. The third point was a little bit more clearly signposted as you got to it. You've got a lot of examples that you're going through, and you give us, I think, pretty good descriptions of those, although it often comes down to, at the end, your judgment as opposed to the official's judgment on this. It would be really helpful if you had some evidence, for instance, that the NFL reviewed the official judgments and said that the officials screwed up, or if you had some authorities who also viewed this and they could, in their testimony, their interpretation is that the rule is not being adhered to in this particular situation. Otherwise, it just comes down to you as a fan, an admitted advocate of the Lions, saying, hey, that should have been a catch. And you know, everybody hates Ndamukong Suh, so you know, I'm just giving you a joke here. You know, so you know, we're back to the situation here about, you know, what is a legal interpretation? Why is it that your judgment is superior to the judgment of the official on the field, the officials in the review booth, and the NFL in the application of the rules? And you ought to be able to explain that, either by the use of authority or by particular the examples that you described. I still think there's enough ambiguity in the examples that the officials are often going to, you know, if it comes to being a judgment call, then it's a judgment call. But you're making the argument that it's not a judgment call, that they have failed to make the proper judgment, and I think that's the more critical issue. I thought you were clearest, though, on that first example with Calvin Johnson catch. None of your sources are cited in the presentation, and you need to do that a little bit more clearly. I thought your presentation seemed a little bit lethargic. You need to be a little more focused, and that's it. All right, thank you.